to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Looking
now,
ahead,
what does that mean? The return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. There were already rumors of a Halo 1 remake. Now, in this Xbox showcase, for him to say that, it kind of already, it kind of just, Halo, the return of Halo 1. Halo 1 Remastered is what we're looking at here. Welcome back to another Halo pod, man. We kept it OG today, and I ain't talking OpTic Gaming, the original gangsters of the OpTic pod. It's me and APG. We just wrapped up it basically turned into a top 25 show. It planned on being this podcast with these topics, talk about the open qualifier and stuff. Just this past open, but it pretty much turned into an hour of us judging who should actually be on that top 25 Halo all-time list. We had Formal and Bound with us. They had to leave because their lives are more important than us. But me and APG, we'll step back. We could have just called the pod, but there was things to talk about, Brad. We didn't touch on the Open Cup with them at all. All we did was that top 25 ranking shit. So we decided, let's stay back. Let's record another one back to back for the gamers that didn't get the message. Today we got Halo topics. We got some videos to react to. Potentially a new Halo being released. The Open Cup that was just played. Faze SSG 007. You know, some of the teams, some of the losses, some of the wins. How were some teams looking? There's a few things we definitely wanted to touch on. So we decided to stay back and give you our thoughts on everything. But today it's just us two. What do you think we should start with? Should we start with some first? You know what? First things first. I want to give a shout out to CommandStation winning the DreamHack free for all. CommandStation is the first female to win anything in Halo. And by anything, I mean like something of a substantial, like there's been female tournaments and blah, blah, blah. And maybe there was a co-ed tournament and this female maybe won something, but as just a pure individual female, I would say this is probably the highest accomplishment that a female has ever had in Halo.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it's impressive that she won, but not only that, she won against other pro players and other top AMP players. Like, I saw Suspector in there. He won, I think, a couple other free-for-alls. And I forgot who else because I was watching an interview with Ice Kid, who just recently got signed to a mid as well. And while they were doing the interview on LVT, they had the FFA in the background. And I saw who was playing. I was like, oh, shit, she won against all these people? Like, she really did her thing. And so I got to give a shout-out to Allie. She's been working her ass off. I know that her ultimate goal is to be a professional player and be the first official, like, you know, female professional. And she was actually posted up. She was posted up trying to do the 1v1s both days. She was really trying to get in the 1v1s.
Really?
Yeah. She was posted up because
get a little free cash.
Yeah, she messaged me and she's like, how do I enter the 1v1s? And I told her, and I was like, I'll try and rig it for you. And then she was there the entire second day, and I felt bad because she really wanted to play. I saw Suspector there too. They were really trying to pull up and get the smoke.
I mean, that was for them. It would have been a free $1,000.
Yeah, they would have been winning 100%. But she also she hit me up after the tournament, and she basically I don't want to call it coaching because I feel like people can weaponize that, but I guess kind of like mentorship and just helping her out. So she hit me up and she's like, hey, would you mind trying to help me out and just like reviewing some gameplay and stuff like that? And I told her I would love to, especially like with her doing as well as she is right now. I know that she has a lot of potential, and then sometimes people that are in the position that she's in, they just need a little bit of guidance or somebody to tell them what they're doing right and doing wrong. So she's trying to make it in 4v4. She's still going to be playing free-for-all, but she's really trying to make it in 4v4. So I know next year is going to be the year where she really tries to become a professional, like putting her all into it, letting other things take a back seat and just really trying to achieve that goal. So I got to give her credit, especially because women in esports, not even just Halo, they don't get as much recognition as they really should. And there's multiple women in different games like Call of Duty, Halo, that are capable of beating a lot of the men, especially the top AM players and maybe even some pros. So like her,
maybe.
So her, Miss Lacar and Divine Damsel, I say those are like the top 3 in the past like 10 years.
And then you got the OGs, Queen.
Yeah, Queen, Smiley, Xena, like the OGs. But I say like the recent like past decade, 10 years, I say those 3, they're the top ranking women. So again, shout out to Allie. She did her thing, and I know she's going to be trying to go for it all this season. I think that there's a World Championship FFA in Seattle. I think that's what Last Shot won a couple years ago, not last year, but the year before. So she's going to be trying to compete with for that. I don't know how the qualification works, but I think that if you at least win one, then you qualify for the World's FFA. So I know that's what she's going to be trying to go for. So again, shout out to Allie.
Yep, congrats. So yeah, like Brad was saying, congrats to CommandStation. I would say the greatest female accomplishment in Halo history. I mean, to win a free-for-all, especially with good players, such as, Suspector was in there, just to name one, but like a few other, like, even though the top pros, even though the pro players aren't in these free-for-alls playing them, she's still playing against good-ass people. Like, if I was to play one of these, I'm not making top 8, top 16, like, yeah. It's like these FFAs, they are difficult. People are skilled, so it's a great accomplishment, and congratulations to her, because I feel like the DreamHack event happened, then we came back, did a Halo pod, sort of just talked about the event, but we didn't mention this. And to be honest, I didn't know this even happened. I didn't, I would think more people would have been like hyping it up, but I just didn't even know it existed. And then a few days ago, I don't know if Brad said something or I saw like an article or something that she won. I was like, what the fuck? Why is this not mentioned? This is like, bro, we got to talk about this on the drop pod. Like, fucking shout her out a little bit or something. But congrats to CommandStation on the DreamHack dub.
Wait, before we move on, what is the last, like before this, what is the best female accomplishment in Halo? Like, because the last one I can remember is, well, Miss Lacar, she like started in that didn't start in pool play, but she got like top 8 or something like that in the Open Cup in the very beginning of the game. I think that she was teaming with Xset. I know Kratos was on the team. Suspector might have been on the team, but I'm not sure about the other players. But I
think it was Kratos, Miss Lacar, Ace, and CommandStation.
Think so? I think that was the team. I think that was the team actually, because I remember that people were talking about that the other day in my chat. So because I remember before that, only other accomplishment that I could think of is Smiley and Xena back in Halo 2, teaming with like Drummer.
They're teaming with like 2 guys.
Yeah, Drummer.
I think they got top 32.
Yeah, that's the only like other accomplishment I can think. So her winning is a huge jump from like the other women just getting top 32. So again, shout out to Allie. She did her thing.
Yeah. All right, first things first. I mean, before we jump into Pznguin's reaction caught on stream, Halo CE teased at the Xbox event. I think we should just start with. Should we just start with the Open Cup?
Yeah.
Can we look at the bracket? Riley, do you have the bracket from the Open Cup? I mean, what matches do we want to talk about? Obviously, there was 007, Frosty, Cycle, Legend, and Collect were a team. Mm-hmm. Honestly, once I saw that team formed, I thought they were going to be the event winners. But on top of it all, you can't count out like a Space Station and Faze and all these other teams. I guess let's start at the 007 made it to finals through winners. There's really not much to talk about through their bracket. Now, when we're talking losers bracket, how should we start this?
I'd say because there's 2 winners bracket matches that were really standouts to me, and one is that Space Station and Chosen game. That series, remember Sirion came into the chat and he didn't like that SSG weren't giving them credit. So Chosen is a top AM roster. They just formed, I believe, because some of those players were on different teams last event. So they took SSG, the new SSG, to Game 5. If anybody's watching doesn't know who the new SSG is, it is now Eco, Stellar, Falcated, and Suppressed. And so they have to play in these Open Cups to get points because they do not have a pool play spot solidified for Salt Lake City. So SSG will be playing in all these, just to name like some of the top teams that made changes. SSG and also FaZe, because they do not retain any pool play spot because they made a 2-man change. But SSG went to Game 5. Didn't see too much of this series, but I think that just judging by it, after the first day, I'll say how we were thinking after day one. We see SSG, newly formed team, going to game 5 with the top AM squad. That necessarily isn't a good look for them. So that was a little bit concerning, even though it's their first match or their first day playing.
But when you see Eco Suppress, Falcated, and Stellar, and then you see Ivanized Collective, Sirion, Zia, these dudes haven't even made, I don't think any of them have made pool play, have they?
No, I don't think so.
Like, it's just these guys are like top 24. Like, it's just it should be a 3-0 slaughter, if not 3-0, maybe a 3-1.
Yeah, 3-1.
Sometimes you can take a Slayer or something. Yeah. But to see, there was a lot of eyes on Space Station and Faze this event. Obviously, those rosters switched players. And SSG with Eco Suppressed, Falcated, and Stellar, everyone's sitting there. We were all pretty much waiting till these matches and to see Space Station start off, go to a game 5 against this team. It was a little bit of a surprise. Sometimes it can happen. I do get it, but at the end of the day, they got the win and continued on in their bracket. I don't know who they played after this, but
this
just
like
off
rip,
Space Station looked shaky, and then on the other side, there was Envy, or there was Faze, who lost to Complexity. In a, I don't know if you can find that, Faze versus Complexity right there. Faze versus Complexity.
There's this one
we saw SSG, but Faze versus Complexity. I mean, Pznguin, Trippy, Snakebite, Lucid. People are looking at that roster like they benefited from the trade more than SSG. But, and then you look at Complexity. Complexity not having the best past, but kind of completely changing up their roster. Got rid of Spartan. Got rid of, was it Breaking Shot? Or no, it wasn't Breaking Shot.
They just got rid of Spartan and Hyabusa left.
And Hyabusa left. And now it's Mental, King Nick, Cherished, and Ryanoob. To be honest, with this Complexity team, I was like, okay, this is definitely a step up. I'm not sure how they're going to look. And I feel like this was their first test of how they're going to look. And Complexity comes out. Everyone's watching this series. Faze. New Faze. How are they going to look like? This is the first good team that they're going to play. And then Complexity comes out, just gives them a hot 3-0. Not even on some like, every game was close. Like, it was sort of a slaughter.
Yeah, can you bring up the data I have, Riley, for this one? Just for this one. This one is a good one to look at.
It was sort of a slaughter. And Riley, just to throw the type of what felt like the environment I was watching was, can you find that clip of Pznguin?
It's not going to be on Pznguin stream. It'll be on Lucid's. If you're talking about the first day.
No, it was just, he'll have the clip.
Because I thought it was like the reaction.
Nah, there was, so on the first day, what are we looking for?
I just want to see the score. Just scroll down and you'll see the scores. Yeah.
Oh, versus Complexity. 3-2, 50-35, and a 250-37. I mean, not even close. Fortress Flag will kind of be close sometimes, but I mean, just fucking slaughtered. 50-35 and 250-37 against Faze. It's kind of insane. And now go find that link of Pznguin. The Pznguin. This is a clip from my stream of these were the vibes I was getting out of Pznguin. Look at him. He's watching his team in death screen.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's throwing up his hands.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
I instantly messaged. I was like, someone clip that for the podcast. But I say that because Faze, their first... I think I first say, like, this is why people don't play tournaments or scrims with their comms on or webcam on, really. Because you get these little reactions where stupid motherfuckers like me are gonna pick it apart on a podcast, but it seemingly seems like Pznguin's, they're getting beat 200-10.
Yeah, I'll say,
and it shows frustration. The comms were shit, and it's like this is why people on Reddit, I believe, the next day were picking apart their comms, how they sounded. They sounded down, like. The teamwork was just off. They looked bad against Complexity.
Yeah, there was. You can go back to the scores, Riley, please. and I'll start with game one. The clip is from game one, Live Fire Strongholds, and also for everybody watching, we're just speaking about our opinions after day one. Okay, so day one, this is the first time that Faze has played together. Complexity has gotten a couple scrims under their belt, but this was the very first time that they played together. I'm assuming that their vibes are high, or not even assuming, but people are saying their vibes are high. They're playing matchmaking together, but this is their first official day of actually playing competitively as a group of four. But first game, it was a very big shock, and I think just this series was more so telling of complexity, or telling of Faze than so much complexity. Complexity was playing incredible, and I think that they've gotten a lot better with their two new recent pickups with King Nick and Ryan Noob. They've found a lot more consistency. King Nick and Ryan Noob have gotten top 8 at the back-to-back events in this season, so they are also solidifying themselves as a top 8 duo. And I think that's what Complexity wanted when they were trying to find a fourth for their team, because Spartan was on their team initially, so it was Cherished, Mental, Spartan, and they were looking for a fourth. They were trying to get Collect, and that was a possibility, but they instead went with a duo, King Nick and Ryan, opposed to just keeping the team of 3 and then going for the fourth and Collect, or the fourth being Collect. So I think the Complexity move, just starting off, I think that's a good move. They're finding a lot of success, and Ryan has some sort of system that he has been implementing into every team that he's been with throughout this game's lifespan, and he's found a lot of success with just many different players. So I got to give Ryan his flowers. He's doing his thing. But Faze this day, going back to the clip and everything, that is a really big reason why people don't have their comms on, don't have their webcams on. And it's not because they don't want people to hear their strats. It's because they don't want people to see their mannerisms, see their characteristics, see if they're getting frustrated when their teammates are dying, see if they're judging their teammates or micromanaging them. That is a large reason of why people do not scrim with their comms on. And I think that's just more telling about the players and their personalities, opposed to them as a team and how good they are or what they're trying to hide. But Faze, they didn't look like, after the first day or during the series, it didn't look like they were giving it their all, nor did it look like they had a sense of urgency when they were playing the series or while they're losing. It was just like, oh, we're just playing, we're lost.
No,
it's
fucking server, man.
Yeah, they were. Our Penguin was mentioning, we're on the King Nick server and stuff like that. And
he typed in the chat LOLK after they lost.
Yeah, and so me as a competitor, if I'm playing against that, that's just like free dope. That's literally free dope, because I know that what we're doing, even if it's just playing you and beating you, it's getting to you to some degree, and I'm going to keep trying to just press that button. You feel me? But Faze, they were very nonchalant, and I think that they heard everybody's criticisms and critiques, us specifically, because the next day they came in, didn't have comms on, only individual comms. They were going a lot harder, and they kind of switched or turned things around. After the first day, I was a little bit concerned. I didn't want to say like, oh, ring the bells, there's a problem going on with them.
I was concerned.
But it's like we saw how SSG was when they first formed, and then people gave them that little 2-week grace period, a month or so, like, oh, they just started, they're just figuring things out, give them some time. Then they didn't figure it out. My thing is with Faze is, after that first day, if they came out the second day and were given the same vibes, given the same energy, that's when there's a problem, and that's when people need to be concerned, because you're supposed to start off with some sort of chemistry, some sort of foundation, and after that you build on top. You're not supposed to just start off being completely
crumbling.
Just crumbling completely, no teamwork at all, and then just expecting things to just work after. That's just not how it goes. So Faze, after the first day, and we're in the media now, so we're going to be talking about this stuff. We're going to be making the hot takes and just saying what other people probably are thinking, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit concerning after the first day. That series score, or the game scores in that series were not good. They got beat 250 to like 30, 50-35, almost staked. Last game was like 3-2, but it wasn't like a nice 3-2. It was kind of like a scrappy, like we get a cap, they get a counter, we get a cap, they get a counter, and then just they lost control at the end and lost the game. But they came out the second day. They played Pluto. I think that was Tony Two Turn's team. This is the team, not the team that beat Gunplexion's team, but they played some other team. I forget the first day. They played C9. They went to game 4 with C9. We're doing pretty well, but I don't think that they were any match for Faze, and Faze came out the second day looking hot. So I got to give them the credit. They also ended this tournament second, so they definitely turned things around.
Yeah, you had Faze ended up getting their redemption in the losers bracket. Ended up playing Complexity again. Pznguin and King Nick both teabagging each other.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I forget how the series end. Was it just 3-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Complexity was up. The games were close. Complexity was down in the series 2-1. And then I think it was Recharge Hill and King Nick. They were up 3-1. King Nick starts shooting Pznguin's body because after game 2, Pznguin was shooting his body. Faze got their get back against Complexity. They won 3-1. It really should have went game 5 because I think it was game 3 or game 4 that King Nick was shooting Pznguin's body. They were up 3-1 in King of the Hill. King Nick was honestly playing great.
Yeah.
Damn near playing perfect Halo, making really great plays. It was on his screen for a while. So he was playing really good. He was feeling himself. He killed Pznguin, shot his body, even threw a nade at it. And then right after that, things just started going south for Complexity. It's the karma. Because right before that game, the game ended. It was like the Slayer. The game ended, Pznguin lighting up King Nick's body, shooting it. And I'm just like, I don't know if I'd do that. Series isn't over. I always felt like when people would shoot my body or teabag me, especially in a tournament. In scrims or shit, it's just like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
But like in a tournament, it's just like okay. Oh, all right. I forgot. We're in a fucking tournament. It reminds you, it wakes you the fuck up. To be like, all right, every single spawn this next map, I'm focusing the fuck up. You just reminded me how much I don't want to lose to you. And I feel like for a lot of players that it might be a good thing. For me, I felt like when I got teabagged, it woke me up. It reminded me of how much I don't want to lose to this fucker. I never felt like it got in my head and shit. I don't know.
Gave you some fuel.
It gave me some fuel. But yeah. Pznguin shooting King Nick's body. King Nick starts off the next map on a killing spree. He was playing damn near perfect. His stats weren't amazing, but it was on his screen a lot, and he was making really good plays. They were up 3-1, and then King Nick starts shooting Pznguin's body, nades him, and then suddenly they just start losing. They're only up by 1. Then it's tied game. Then Faze gets camo and end up winning the fucking game. It was literally since that teabag, everything went downhill. So I expected the series to go to game 5. I wish we could have saw it go game 5, but Faze got their redemption against Complexity. I mean, for Faze to get 3-0'd like they did, and they were blaming the servers and how it was just stupid, and sometimes it does feel impossible to win with certain servers. But at a top level, we expected to see and hear more than what we did from that Faze squad on day 2.
Especially their first time playing.
Yeah, they're in their first time playing together.
Hey, you're trying to honeymoon go crazy.
Yeah, you want this to fucking work. You want to hear some passion, some nice fucking good shit.
Usually,
Let's
the
go.
first week of your practice is going to be not necessarily your best, but it's going to be everybody's on their best behavior. Everybody's on their best behavior.
Everyone's trying to play their best Halo.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure their teammates are thinking to themselves, yeah, we made the right decision. They don't want to go into a scrim or the first matches and be like, oh shit, we shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
But before we move on, I do want to talk about one of the other matches in the lower bracket. I would say also, Riley, for this one you can go to Halo Data Hive, but go to the bracket first. Go to the bracket first and we can see it. C9 versus Ascending Baseline versus C9. Yep.
Oh yeah.
At the top. Right there. Now, no, there's another one.
There's a C9 versus...
Or maybe losers bracket. It might be losers bracket.
Oh, no, they're before that.
Was it before?
I think it's...
Oh, yeah, because they got top 6 in the cup. So
Yeah.
The people we're talking about...
to the left somewhere.
Yeah. It's going to be right before that 10-round match. If you guys don't know, Ascending Baseline is made up of Suspector. Super CC is their new pickup. And the twins, Zuzi and Uzi. I know one of them at least used to be a Fortnite pro. Their older brother is Valid Nick or Saint Nick. He's been around forever. He's also a professional dancer, real professional, dances on stage with Mariah Carey and Beyonce and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah, he's real professional. But they have been grinding. They've been grinding. They haven't made pool play yet, but they are that team or those players that are right on the cusp, and they're going to be next up. LVT's documentary. LVT has a top AM documentary where they follow around like 3 of the top AM players to see how their weekend goes. They did one on the Twins. The first one actually. They interviewed the Twins and followed them around, and they're on the come up, bro. They beat C9 3-1. C9 has also gotten a couple scrims under their belt. They also just made a team change for Avusi. They initially went to Avusi and asked him to team, but even before they asked Avusi, they asked Collect. But Collect, to my knowledge, he said he doesn't want to go join their team unless TJ is on it, which I understand and I respect because of how well TJ has been playing. And TJ is TJ, you know what I'm saying? Like you know you're not going to go wrong picking up TJ or teaming with him. Like you know what he brings to the table, especially this late down the line and in his career. But more so, even C9. Or sending baseline winning, it's more so how C9 was playing that last game, because we tuned in to I think game 4, so we didn't see the others game scores, but that game 4 they were dominating. It was like a strongholds, and it was like they were in full control or King of the Hill, either that or oddball, one or the other. But it was on recharge, but they had full control. C9 did not look like a good roster, and it was a little bit concerning. I'm more concerned when I see teams they don't do well on the second day. Like the first day, it's like, all right, well, it's just first day. People need to lock in for that day too. You know what I'm saying? Because that is when the finals happen. But they also just made the team change. It's not looking like it was the best decision, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but this is not a team that if you're a C9, you're a partner team, you're salaried, you should not be losing to the top AM squads, because the C9 might see that, and if you keep losing, they might just go pick up those players. You know what I'm saying? So these people are literally, they said it after they beat them. They're like, give me your contract, and they are genuinely, if they keep doing well, they will take your contract. But like the recharge is 250 to 236, but I think that's because they started, or C9 started to get a lot of points towards the end when it's sending baseline just needed to like just get the game over with, basically. Just get 2 caps, and then you need like 2 seconds, and it's done. 2-0 on Fortress Bomb. That means they basically had control the entire time. Solitude Slayer, 50-49. That's probably the swing game. Like they needed that win, and that's what catapulted them to just win the rest of the series. So big shout out to the Twins, and just a little bit of a concern for C9. They haven't been looking the best since Manny left the roster. I think that they let go of TJ much too early, and I think that if they were going to make a team change, I think that TJ should have stayed, and I think they should have probably picked up Collect or maybe even Avusi. But granted, Avusi wasn't playing too well in this cup, no disrespect, but he did not have good stats, not only just in this series, but he didn't have good stats the first day. I didn't watch too much of the series, but I'm looking at Avusi as like their Slayer, especially because they're looking to bring
the young gun that needs the fucking legend.
Yeah, he needs to bring them more firepower. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Sab and Skep. I think that's the bulk of their firepower. Then you got Jesse as well. I don't think Jesse has been playing too well. He's a legendary player. You know, it's Jesse. He's an incredible player.
But I haven't seen shit from him.
Yeah,
let's just be honest. I haven't seen shit from Boo Boo.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I say that I think TJ, he has earned his spot, and I don't think that he should have been let go. I think, you know, if there's anybody to make a team change for, I think it probably would have been for Jesse. You pick up, or you let go of Jesse, you pick up K, and then I think you get a lot more firepower, you get a lot more stability, a lot more leadership, and I think that's kind of what that team is missing. You know, I don't know what their comms are like, but I feel like if they go down in a game, then there's not that main voice that's telling them, yo, let's reset, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? It could be Skep. If there's anybody, I'm probably go with Skep, but I guess we'll see how they do in the future. Granted, it's just the first cup. They just started playing together, but C9 was probably my biggest disappointment over the weekend. And then I'd say like the biggest surprise might have been outside of Faze the second day. I was kind of impressed by SSG and how they were playing. But when I was watching that SSG versus Faze series, I noticed that when SSG would be on the back foot, or you know their backs are against the wall, they go 4 down, they're trying to break out of their spawn. They would kind of be just individually trying to push out, and that's kind of what I saw on the old SSG too. It's just when they need to work as a team fully, then it's just that teamwork is not there, and you can visually see it. But I think that SSG and FaZe, seeing how they played, I still think that they both upgraded.
Yeah, SSG and FaZe. I guess for the C9 in Ascending Baseline series first. Ascending baseline, man, it's about time we see an upset. I see these motherfuckers getting to the same spot every single open tournament, then they'll come across a C9 and they'll lose, and it's just typical. And now afterwards, they win, they get up, they're screaming, they're literally looked in the camera, give me your fucking contract.
Passion.
I like it. At the same time, it is... I want to congratulate you, but at the same time, that's your first win in an open cup. That's your first respectable win in an open cup. Contracts ain't just going to be given like that. You need to start doing this consistently, like how Boo Boo and C9 and these players have been. What you just placed, they've been doing that for fucking 8 years straight. So it's like, I get it. You won. It is an exciting moment when you beat a team motherfuckers don't think you're gonna beat. It is an exciting moment. I know what the come up is like. I want to keep seeing that out of y'all. Keep believing you can beat these teams, especially because you beat the C9 team and then you didn't just stop there. That wasn't just the peak, because sometimes teams will get one upset. And then then it's just boom, they fall off, or like you'll get an upset in pool play, but then boom, you just lose every single fucking series because it was a fluke. But with Ascending Baseline versus C9, y'all beat them, and then you had Envor and friends for top 4, which people would say are better than you guys as well, and or for top 6?
Yeah, top six.
For top 6, you're playing Envor and friends, and people definitely aren't thinking you're beating them either, and you beat them. And I can tip y'all for that. Yeah. Just, try to come back every single weekend and do the same thing. Because that's how you get the contract. Because it's not just going to be one Open Cup. It's not just going to be one event. Finish the year strong. Keep doing what you're doing. If you feel like you have something good with the team you just play with, stick it out. Study up, work hard. Who knows where it could go, man? I like, you guys from the AM side of things are the only people giving us like something to watch. When we're watching our SSGs, we're watching our Faze matches, we're watching 007, we're watching, the winners bracket and shit. Once that ends, it's like, okay, where's Uzi and Zuzi at? So you guys are the hope for the AMs. You guys might be next up. It's keep doing what you're doing. It's fun to see someone from the AM side of things start coming into these better placings. So best of luck to you, man. Best of luck to Ascending Baseline. It was nice to see a little bit of something different for once, because we're just so used to seeing the same teams placing the same thing and beating the same.
It's nice to see like AMs really want to be pros. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
not just doing it for the money. Yeah,
like
they're not trying to get like just the bread.
Chill.
Yeah, they're trying to really accomplish that goal, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I like, not even just me, like we're both rooting for you guys. Like I know y'all gonna be watching, like we're rooting for you guys. We want to see you guys be successful because of how much time you put in, how much passion you have. But Nick was spitting like a motherfucker right there. Like you got to do it multiple times, because one event or one cup is not going to be enough. You got to do that repeatedly, and then that's when organizations and they'll start reaching out to you. They'll be like, "Oh, our team isn't doing well. We need to pick up these other guys who are consistently beating our team, because obviously they're going to be a better investment." So keep working, keep doing your thing, and yeah, it's really nice to see people have that passion and really want to win. So credit to you guys again.
Yep. And that was, as far as loser side, that was pretty much it, I believe. Then we got to. We got Faze and SSG and losers.
That
was get Faze and SSG. I'm trying to think of, was there a match before that was worth
the complexity one? But we kind of talked about that one.
Okay. So let's just go Faze SSG. Now, before this series, me and Brad both said I got SSG 3-1.
Yep.
Because Faze didn't look good on Saturday. In the way they sounded, and it kind of turned me off from like wanting to support them. And then SSG, I just have faith with this team. Obviously, I feel like you look at the Faze roster and it's like, okay, this roster is pretty stacked. Lucid, Trippy, Penguin, they've been teaming. They bring up Snakebite. It's practically Snakebite in place of Formal. I think we would say Formal would be more significant option at this point in Snakebite's career. Obviously, Snakebite's a fucking legend. Don't get it fucked up. But it's basically the old OpTic, just Snakebite instead of formal. And, so there's going to be potential here. They know how they play. I think Lucid, Trippy, and Pznguin they work together. They're not only personality-wise, but just their play styles, I think, kind of work. And they're all sort of that... I don't want to say like chill fucking something, but they're all pretty nonchalant, and I don't see like many arguments. I don't see Trippy and Pznguin battling with Lucid on how to play, and Snakebite's just gonna be there trying to like fill the roles and play as best as he can. So when I saw this roster form, I was like, I'm kind of leaning towards this roster to be better. The entire community was basically saying the same thing. How Faze is gonna be better, but the more that I thought about it, the SSG team. Eco, Stellar, Falcated, Suppressed. The more I thought about it, I was like, wait a second. This is the SSG team that they wanted. They're happy about this team change. They're picking up Falcated and Suppressed. Falcated, possibly one of the most underrated Halo players of all time, to be honest.
It's like Destin, kind of.
But, like, more.
Yeah.
Like, Falcated should be on a top 3 team.
Like, in terms of, like, public perception, even to, like, pros perception, like Falcated Mike, he is extremely underrated, and he's been playing great too.
Extremely underrated. He plays consistently good. So when Eco and Stellar found Suppressed and Falcated, I was like, this is gonna work for their fucking what do you call it? Their system. These players are gonna they're gonna fall right into the system. They're gonna be up in their face. They're gonna play aggressive. They're gonna get 2 dead. They're gonna be pulling flag caps. They're gonna be making random plays. They're gonna be, it was always that SSG system or the Stellar ecosystem when they, even when they had like Shotzi and Renegade and when they had Bound and Legend, that was always their system. I feel like they found that a little bit with Suppressed and Falcated, but. Faze versus SSG, we saw it live yesterday. It went to a game 5. Every game was pretty close. Every game was kind of, either team could have won. But it went to a game 5, and it couldn't have gotten any better because Faze takes the W. Now, keep in mind, me and APG both said SSG 3-1. Faze takes the W 3-1 to win the losers finals. And that was a banger of a series. Yeah, that was actually probably say that's definitely the best series of the day because the finals were like, the finals were just slaughter.
The finals weren't hitting like that. But this is the series that everybody's been waiting for. You know what I'm saying? Especially after all the drama, after all the team changes, this is the series. Like everybody was hoping, like us included, that somehow, some way they would match up in the bracket.
Yeah.
And this whole series was great. Could you go down a little bit, Riley, to this game scores, please? And thank you. SSG, I will say first, they have been looking great in Slayers. Faze came out hot in that game 1 recharge. They were also like, if you guys watched the tourney, Faze, you could visually see that they were just into it more. Like there was no nonchalant shit yesterday. They were really trying to win this series. And even just like, speaking about games 4 and game 5. Game 4, I think that's when Lucid was trying to kill the flag guy running at bottom mid. He like missed a couple shots trying to thrust out. He like he double backed front yellow, went inside bottom mid, tried to kill the flag guy. SSG got the cap in like the last second or something like that.
Well, it was SSG died with the flag. They spawned Gen.
Yeah.
And then when they spawned Gen, they then spawned flag. So it was a little bit of luck.
It's an easy relay,
but the flag was down. They spawned Gen. So they fought him, picked it up,
because Pink was completely
eventually
open.
Got the cap. So an insane ending to that Aquarius flag as well for SSG to bring it to game 5.
Yeah, and then game 5, I'll even just speak about the ending. Like Tommy, bottom elevator. I will also give Tommy his flowers on this day, on the second day. He was playing incredible. He was that's the Tommy that everybody is used to seeing. He was reminiscent of his old self, and that is what people want to see. That's the type of gameplay we want to see. Like he was doing his thing. In that game 5, his bottom A, Kevin was on the camo jump. Kevin tries to slide away. It was a good play by Kevin. Tommy gets that headshot, and that is what kind of like catapulted them to just being in a position to win the game and have a better win condition. So got to give credit to Faze. We both thought that SSG, because SSG was looking better. They were looking like the better team through after the first day, and even during the second day. SSG came out hot in their winners matches. Suppress was in my chat earlier that morning, and he typed in, he's like, yesterday, or he said, this isn't storylines no more. This is mercy or something like that. And then somebody asked me, and they were like, how did SSG play yesterday? And then Suppress says, no, we played good, but today, watch today, we're going to be much better. And they came, like, he was living up to his words, or backing them up.
He was playing good too.
But Faze, they definitely, like, that was the series that they needed. Like, you know what I'm saying? They needed that series to just be like, all right, we kind of are finding our footing. We got our foundation laid. Like, we're back with our exes. Like, remember we talking about they got back with their exes, and the first day was like their first date back together. It didn't go that great, but it went well enough to where they're going to have the second date. Now, the second date went crazy. They went crazy on the second date.
They got drunk. Yeah, they started fucking.
They got drunk. They got fucked, or they're fucking. They're making breakfast in the morning afterwards. Like, it went well for them. It went really well. So
yeah, but I mean, either way, Game 5 was 50-49. Even if SSG would have won, I think both teams can still walk away from the series like, all right, like we saw stints of greatness for us. They had stints of greatness for them. They happened to win the 50-49. I still don't know how Stellar got 5 to cross map.
Yeah, he was like Manger Pit, and he
his feet got caught, or like maybe he was trying to chase a kill.
I think he was like trying to chase a kill, and that person just got away, and then there was 2 people top gold, and he couldn't get away after that.
But either way, I don't think either teams need to be too upset about their gameplay. I think both teams are probably better from this. We also scrims are going to be starting up soon, so we'll see with that. The only thing I will say is Faze then went to the finals, played 007, who is Collect, Frosty, Cycle, and Legend. I called that team winning from the beginning. I just think they're better players. Obviously, Cycle, Frosty, and Legend, I feel like they're just, it's the top caliber, the top players of the league. And then you have Collect, one of the best online player, and he fits right in. Collect fits with that kind of play style. I'm waiting to see what team tries to pick up Collect. But my point being, Faze went to Grand Finals, played 007, and just kind of got shit on. It wasn't close. So I'm like, do we go right back to where we were, to where we put OpTic and Shopify on this pedestal, and these other players like Faze and SSG just can't really fuck with them? Maybe just not on the same skill level, and maybe as a team not on the same level. But then you got to remember back to the event. Faze beat Shopify. But I still do think it's OpTic, Shopify, Faze, SSG. Is Faze and SSG going to? Are those two teams going to be able to battle OpTic and Shopify to start winning events? That I don't know, and I have yet to see a spark of if that's going to be possible. Of course, at the end of the day, anything's possible at an event. Obviously, we saw Faze beat Shopify last event. Some shit happens. So, I'm not saying it's not possible. We're going to see when scrims start and see if one of these SSG and Faze teams can make it to a finals, put up a good fight, and potentially win an event this year, or are we just going to continue to see the OpTic Shopify show?
Honestly, you are really on point. I gave you depths. Gotta be right hand. So
for what I'm saying right now,
just not even just right now, but just as a whole, what you've been saying, just the past, not even just the past week, just in general since we started doing this. But yesterday, you said the same exact thing. And I saw hella people, like on Reddit, chats, everything, they're saying the same exact thing about how this finals was an indicator that Shopify and OpTic, they're just a league above or tier above the other teams. Now, how we mentioned that ascending baseline, they have to win that match but keep it going. Kind of felt like Faze won that SSG match, and they were out of NOS. So they didn't hit the NOS too early. They hit it when they needed to, but I think they should have a better showing against this team, because it wasn't like the SSG Faze match was much better than the finals. Just entertainment wise.
Finals was just a blowout.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And I just think I want to see how these teams practice, because I want to see if FaZe runs into the same problems, maybe even more without Matt as they did the previous year. Maybe SSG, they struggle with just like, actually finding, or actually like, how do I say it? I say SSG struggle is when their backs are against the wall, actually having a good push or a good break and trying to work together and not do things individually and have that good pacing. So I think that's something SSG can work on just from seeing their gameplay yesterday. But I think that there's going to be a really big battle between FaZe and SSG this year, and maybe even TSM too. I think TSM is going to be able to compete with those teams as well. But when it comes to OpTic and Shopify, that's when I think they've been teaming this entire season. They've been practicing. They got the chemistry down. They've been playing at events, especially OpTic. They got the ice down now. Like, it's going to be even more difficult than it was the first two events to beat those two, or I'll say even OpTic, because Shopify, they've got to figure out their Sunday, not even just Sunday, but their LAN performance and how to translate what they're doing online to LAN, because both events, I'd say they've been looking like, or I wouldn't even say DreamHack, but because they lost to OpTic online before DreamHack, but that was their first online loss ever. But they outside of that, they've been looking like the most prepared team going into the event. And then when they get to the event, they're just not I wouldn't say fully lackluster, but they just ain't hitting as hard as they were online, whether it be in scrims, the tourneys. They just weren't hitting as hard. And I think that's kind of due to their comms and just them feeling like they have to have more chaos than they really need. And I think if they just chilled a little bit, they would start seeing the results they want. But I do think that OpTic Shopify, just going back to what you said, that's an incredible point, is that they at this tournament did show that they are still above the other teams.
Yeah. I guess that's it for the tournament. Did we want to touch on these little topics?
We got to talk about the Xbox Game Showcase.
All right, so there was an Xbox Games Showcase. There's really not much. Well, let's just listen to the clip. I ain't even gonna say, just you hear it and you tell me what you think.
Looking ahead, next year marks 25 years of Xbox. It's a big milestone for the platform and franchises that you helped build and make popular. We couldn't have done this without everyone who's been with us on this journey. As we think about bringing a new generation of players to these iconic franchises, I'm excited to share that players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. Looking
now,
ahead,
what does that mean? The return of a classic that's been with us since the beginning. There were already rumors of a Halo 1 remake. Now, in this Xbox showcase, for him to say that, it kind of already, it kind of just, Halo, the return of Halo 1. Halo 1 remastered is what we're looking at here.
I'm gonna let you get your shit off, and then I'm gonna go. Let me know when you finish.
Well, what's this? Okay, so this is the Unreal Engine 5 that allegedly the Halo 1 remake will be played on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't. Apparently, that's what's in the air right now. Obviously, nothing completely official, but with talks and little hints like that, a game that's been with us since the beginning is now being remade. I'm thinking a Halo CE. What is C? Combat Evolved?
Yeah.
A Halo 1 remake seems to be what's next in store. I don't know if that's going to be a competitive game. I really can't see it being one. I don't know if they're going to do a Year 5 Halo Infinite, but also just have Halo 1 remake. I don't, for the masses, I don't think a Halo 1 remake is going to do shit. I think it'll maybe help in the beginning. Maybe there will be some kind of like nice big team playlist. Of course, I'm going to check it out and I'm going to be playing it as well. But, anything past 3-4 months, do I see a Halo CE staying relevant? I don't. Do I think it's going to get the Infinite players and the newer generation to want to play? I don't. Do I think it's going to excite some of the old heads like Legend Pimps, STK Tupac, Ogre 1? Yeah, they're going to be excited about it, and they're probably going to feel doped up because they're going to be the best. But I don't know. It's cool for something new to be coming out for Halo, and especially with the new Halo Studios using the Unreal Engine. It's going to be cool to just see how it looks, see how it feels, see how it plays. But besides that, I can't act like I'm super excited. I don't think anyone's super excited about a Halo 1 remake. But at this point, what else are they going to do? Hopefully something like this holds us off on top of having maybe another a year of Halo Infinite. And then in 2027, Halo fucking 14 drops or whatever Halo we're on, and we're all happy. Maybe. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't know.
All right. So, trying to think about where to start. So, yesterday, guys, we're recording this on Monday. Yesterday was the Open Cup. If you guys don't know, BTH Watch Party. We're doing the online cups. Make sure you guys tune in, twitch.tv/APG and twitch.tv/BTH Maniac. So, we're doing the watch party yesterday, and this is when the Xbox Games Showcase was going down. I think it was all weekend, but since they do not have E3 anymore, the Xbox Games Showcase is what people look forward to every year, especially a Halo player or somebody in the Halo community. They're looking forward to this weekend or this show to see if there's anything new coming for Halo or any other Xbox, what's it called? Xbox exclusives. So while we were watching the matches yesterday, Nick and I were talking about this because a lot of people were in our chats. They were telling us, or we told them, like, yo, if you guys see anything about Halo, make sure you guys come in our chats and tell us to immediately go and look. And then I said that if there isn't anything or if there's nothing from Halo during the announcement, then I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Extremely disappointed, and I said I would respectfully roast, but I'm not going to roast. I'm going to say this in a professional manner. Number one, I think that since we are in year 4, we need something. We need something to keep people interested, to keep them talking, something on social media, whatever it may be. We need some sort of announcement, some sort of transparency, and that's where we kind of fuck up with Halo. Not only just in HCS, I think we fuck up just in general, just in the Halo community as a whole, because there's not enough transparency and people are just waiting on the edge of their seat just for anything. I remember when they teased Halo Infinite and we got like a Spartan just with a BR, and that was huge. It was huge for us. But now I don't think that there was anything last year at the Xbox Game Showcase, and that was a little bit alarming. But now, we got a little bit of a tease in what he said. He said a classic that has been with us since the beginning, and that kind of gives more validity to Halo 1 Remastered or Halo CE Remastered coming back. But also what I've heard to add on to the rumor is that Halo CE Remastered is supposed to be coming back. It's supposed to have abilities. Okay, that's what I've heard too, is that it's supposed to have clamber, sprint, slide, whatever advanced movement abilities there are in Halo Infinite. They will be transferred over to the CE remake. I also have heard that that this wouldn't necessarily be the game for multiplayer. I mean, I don't know what they would do next year if this isn't. I'm assuming we just have another year of Halo Infinite. I'm in the same boat as Nick. I do not think that this is good for the masses. I don't think that you can go from Halo Infinite to a CE remake and have all these players that are used to advanced movement, that are young, they're cracked, they've been playing jetpack games, and have them go back to Halo 1, which was made in 2000 or 2001. It's not the same game, and it will deter people away from wanting to play the game because it's not what they're used to. I think that, if this is the game that we're going to be playing competitively, having the abilities would be straight, but I don't think that it's going to hit as hard as Halo Infinite. Right now, we have a lot of eyes on Halo. We have a lot of motion. Even if the player base isn't hitting like that, there's a lot of motion in Halo. There's orgs trying to join. There's a lot of big orgs trying to join, and a large part of that is due to the barrier of entry being low. They don't have to pay much, but they also fuck with Halo, and they like to see, or they want to see where Halo is going to be in a couple years. The Unreal Engine announcement that came out, I don't know when, but that is actually a really big announcement that will help Halo. And I think anybody that is a gamer, if they hear Unreal Engine or Halo being moved to Unreal Engine, that's a positive and that's a W. So I'm very happy about that. I do want to see more gameplay on the engine or just anything. We saw the free cam of the maps and seeing how it looks and how they can make updates to them, whether it's dark time or daytime, nighttime, whatever it may be. There's a lot more things that they can do with this engine, and they're able to update the game much more faster. You know what I'm saying? Like instant updates where, if we have an issue or something like that, they can update it and it's no problem. They can also change maps, change things much easier. That way we can kind of advance the meta and switch things up. That way the game doesn't get stale. But I guess we got something. I'll put that in air quotes. We got the him teasing that it's going to come back. It's a classic that has been with us since the beginning. My issue is, and I've also heard, to add on to the rumor, I forgot to say this, that it's supposed to be coming to PlayStation 2. Now, Gears of War 1 Remastered just got announced a little bit ago, and they were saying how they were going to put it on PlayStation. I saw a lot of people not being happy about that because they didn't fuck with Gears 1. But it's still coming to PlayStation, giving it a whole new player base and allowing more people to experience the game, which I think is a W too. You can go back to the last article. I want to see what they said, Riley. What were you underlining? Okay. So the tease was backed up by the Verge reporter Tom Warren, who claimed that 2026 will see the release of a full Halo Combat Evolved remake, releasing on the 25th anniversary of Xbox and the popular FPS series. So they talked about Forza. They talked about, oh shit, according to the very accurate reporter, why'd they say that? The very accurate reporter, the upcoming remake will launch on Xbox and PC, but is also in consideration for a PS5 release at a later date. Thank you, Riley. So that basically, that's what I've been hearing. If Gears of War 1 Remastered is coming to PlayStation, I think Halo is probably going to be in the same boat. So I think that there is a lot of truth to these rumors, but I am not happy that we didn't get an actual update on what's going to be happening with our game or just in our community as a competitive community. We're going to have an announcement at Worlds, I've heard. I'm happy about that. I'm very, very happy about that. But I do think that we just need something mid-season to keep people interested. It doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little tidbit to get people interested, keep people talking. Because if we don't have anything for the next 5 or so months and then you get a big update or a big announcement, it will hit. But I think that we just need to maintain that momentum. But I'm happy that they said something and it's got people talking about a CE remaster coming, but I do wish that we get more information on either the CE remaster or the next Halo game at Worlds. I'm a little bit disappointed because I just want something. I want Halo to be on the biggest stages, the biggest arenas, having like the crowd going crazy like CS events. And I just want us to have a little bit more transparency. I am happy that they're telling us something or alluding to something, but I do want a little bit more transparency, not only just for us as competitive community, but for everybody that enjoys Halo and loves Halo. Because for us, we don't even know what's going to be happening next season. We don't know what we're going to be competing on, and then that's going to be a problem towards the organizations because they're going to want to do a long-term investment opposed to just investing for a few months. So I'm very happy with the direction that Halo's going in with the Unreal Engine, and then giving a little tease, but I do want us to have a little bit more transparency in the future.
Well said. Riley's excited about this new Dragon Ninja Returns helmet. As far as which I think this helmet was created in Halo 3, and it was actually fucking dope. Yeah. So I think they're bringing this back. But besides the fucking bundles and release dates and teasers and all that shit, the only thing I want from Halo is just make a good product, because we can have a banger teaser, we can get everyone excited, we can show ships and warthogs flying around. Oh, is this a leaked battle royale? Is this what's happening? At the end of the day, I just want, even with the Halo 1 shit first, I just want a good Halo. I want it to play good. I want it to feel good. And I'm at the point where I don't care about the trailers. I don't care about the teasers. I don't care about what it could or what it should have maybe might be in 2032. I just hope whatever is released and when it's released, that it comes out good. Because we've seen even Halo Infinite, man. Halo Infinite dropped. The matchmaking was fucked up. People were lagging out every single game. Mouse and key was horrible.
Cheaters.
The ranking system sucks. Cheaters nonstop. You couldn't even play with your friends or you wouldn't find games. Like, it just shit like that. That's going to be that we have to fucking clutch in that type of stuff. So fuck the teasers. I don't know when shit's coming out, but when it drops, I just hope it's done right. Obviously, easier said than done. But yeah, I guess that's it for Halo. Last thing, we got the Splitgate CEO. Is he throwing shots at Call of Duty? Let's take a look at the clip. He said he's sick of playing Call of Duty. He said he's sick of playing the same Call of Duty every single year. And this is why you should play Splitgate 2. Granted, he dissed Call of Duty, and they're playing the same Call of Duty every year. But then every single person he's throwing money to sponsor, partner, play their fucking game is a Call of Duty player. I don't know if that's throwing jabs at the at the companies and they're trying to poach players or something. But I didn't get nothing, and I enjoyed Splitgate, so we got beef. But anyways, that's just went off on a little tangent. But let's listen to the clip.
We just wanted to make a game we could play with our friends, and 20 million of you played with us. Now, with the help from our amazing community, we've built Splitgate 2. Why? Because I grew up playing Halo.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of playing the same Call of Duty every year.
Yeah.
And I wish we could have Titanfall 3.
Nah, I didn't play that game.
When we started
Balls. Okay, so I hear his point. I hear his fucking point. I like what Splitgate's done so far. I like the first Splitgate. The only problem with Splitgate, I like how it felt. I like the guns. I like the idea. I like the maps. It all felt great to me, but once you started playing good players, that shit did not become fun. People were just too good at that portal shit. It was just too much, and I stopped playing. Splitgate 2, haven't played it. I've watched it a little bit. The BR seems cool, but I don't know if there's anything I'm seeing that's sucking me in. Apparently, skin bundles were outrageously priced. They got a little backlash about that. But the biggest backlash that Splitgate CEO has had is he won't apologize for his Make FPS Great Again. He wore this hat during his little speech of the video that we just watched, Make FPS Great Again. Obviously, it's a play off the Trump hat. So people are assuming he supports Trump, and, you know, there's this whole deal with Elon and Trump right now. And but he made a tweet and said, I am not here to apologize, but I'm here to clarify. This is not a political statement. It is quite literally what it says, so take it at face value. The state of multiplayer FPS games is tragically stale. We hope to fix that. Whatever you want, arena, battle royale, onslaught, or creator map, Ian. And, you know, I like that out of him. I don't really give a shit about his hat. I think we should take his hat at face value. What is it? What does he want? To make FPS great again. I don't think it's some fucking subliminal Trump support, Israel fucking, and then it's just some deep dive into what he supports. I don't think it's all that. Maybe.
I'm surprised people took this so serious. Like it's I would understand like if the hat was red or something like that, then you could probably say it's political. But
yeah,
everybody makes a play on like the Make America Great Again stuff. Like even there's like a weed brand.
Yeah, everyone fucking does it.
Yeah, there's a weed brand. And they like grow OGs. Like
we're dealing with gamers and internet, and everyone just forms an opinion instead of like cooking and cleaning their apartment and going outside and getting vitamin D and making sure their husbands and wives and dogs have great lives. They'd rather be responding and finding something to piss them off, like a Make FPS Great Again hat. I have no problem with it. Obviously, I'm taking it at face value. Really didn't even notice that, but apparently that was a big deal to some people. He got some backlash. He doubled down. He said he's not apologizing. This is what the hat means. Take it at face value. If you can't deal with that or you still hate me, then so be it. So I think his response was appropriate. And, yeah, Splitgate 2 is out. I believe there's a BR with it as well. I haven't played it, but that's pretty much going to do it for our news. Brad, do you have any last words to say? I can't remember what my hat says.
It's like,
my hat says...
Let me read it for you.
My hat says Call of Duty Black Ops 6, National Kick-Ass and Call of Duty Day. So absolutely, you should take it at face value, because I'm a Call of Duty legend, and I was on the Mutineers. So when I hop on Call of Duty, I kick ass.
National Kick-Ass. Kicking ass all over the nation.
And that's gonna do it. Brad, do you have anything you want to say real quick?
Just like I said earlier, if you guys don't know, we are doing a watch party or doing watch parties, plural, for the online cup. So twitch.tv/BTHManiac and twitch.tv/APG. We'll be live again this coming weekend for Open Cup number 2. We also are working on getting to SLC. OpTic is speaking to SSG. So, fingers crossed, knock on wood 3 times, we will be at the SLC event And also, we are working on being there for Worlds. The Faze event is not announced yet, so we can't talk about that one yet, but we are hoping to finish out the year strong. But just want to say thank you guys for all the love, the support. For real, we really appreciate you, and we just hope to bring you guys even more content, and we're just going to keep getting better every event.
Yep. We got, there's technically 4 events. The SSG event, the Faze event, the Shopify potential LVT LAN event, and then Worlds. There could be 4 events that we're going to be watch partying at, man. It's been a blessing. And, these Open Cups, we're going to be getting a good setup here at the HQ. We have it set up, but Matt Craig was out of town for the last one. But in all future cups, we're going to be doing an in-person Halo watch party, man. We got some cups coming up, probably some 5Ks, some LVT tournaments, a lot of Halo stuff is brewing. It's going to be an exciting rest of the season. But that's going to do it for us, man. Thank you so much for watching the OpTic Pod episode Who Gives a Frick. See you next time. Peace.
Peace out.